So speaking of arenas and even bigger, like you recently played with Shakira, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Like talking about when we shout out to Rigo,
Yeah, shout out Rico.
shout out Rigo and Roger. Roger made it
Rigo,
happen.
yeah.
Yeah, what's it called?
Those were incredible photos from that evening.
Yeah, that was a crazy event. But you can even see in her like she has a staff of like 200. You know, you have the band and the dancers, but then there's like 100. You know, people building the stage, and then there's like all the a fleet of semi trucks. You know, like 20 truck drivers coming in. And,
production staff keeping everything moving.
Exactly, and then the managers, with all the little camps between them, have their little offices that they set up for the day and stuff, and then they maybe have a catering for whoever. It's crazy. Like they're traveling. You know, each of those stadiums are traveling with like 100, 200 people.
So that's a stadium. And what venue did you play with them at?
That was a Snapdragon in San Diego. That was really cool. That probably, honestly, that was the biggest crowd I've ever played in front of.
It was turned up too.
Yeah, they were going crazy. It was actually it was crazy to think about it too, because like the parts we're playing were easy, and so we're playing over tracks, which
Okay.
we made it super like less pressure. We're like, oh shit, okay,
Nice.
I could fuck up. It wouldn't matter. Not that it wouldn't matter. Roger would be like,
or not that you did.
You know, Roger would be looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, if you messed up. But,
I was definitely jamming and stuff.
I mean, you don't get that call unless they know you're not gonna fuck up.
No, yeah. But the thing that I was thinking about is like there's a certain part when it was coming up, or even just being on the type of energy. I was like, oh shoot, just like trying to calm down the energy of
yourself.
Exactly. Just
so your fingers will move.
Exactly. And I've been on tons of stages, but here it's just like, oh, the adrenaline is like a different type of drug. You're like, oh shit. There's literally a stadium, people just like going crazy. And it's not even for me. They're going for like Shakira stuff, and we're just on the side, but the energy's so lit.
I don't believe anything has ever shaken me. I don't believe you're the real thing.
Hey, what up? It's Fly Like Phil here, Cali Function Records. It's another episode of Studio Talk with Fly Like Phil. Today, special guest is none other than Ben Ahsue, Top Shelf Brass Band. What's up, Doug?
Yo, it's good to be here. It's chill on bass.
Nice, man. Thanks for pulling up. Appreciate it.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good to be back. It's good to be here in Riverside vibes. I.e., I feel like it's been all over the place the past couple of weeks, but it's good to relax and come back and get down to it. So
nice. Yeah, you've been on the road, man. Tough. It was hard for me with this episode trying to figure out how am I gonna introduce this guy because you do so many things, bro.
Yeah, I think that's kind of funny. Now I'm trying to do not less, but something more specific. I definitely have been kind of all over the place in probably the past couple of years, just trying to keep all the plates spinning. You know,
yeah.
Do a little bit of playing for a bunch of different groups, or trying to get off with producing and songwriting, and then teaching lessons over here on the side to make extra cash. But you know, like now I think I don't know, coming back from the road. Playing with Ramirez and seeing Soulzay and Joshua, just like seeing these three artists like really kind of kill it, and like I don't know what the right word is, but like not compromising for their art. I feel like I've been a real big side man of like being a musician, and maybe that's part of with being a musician, but I think I came to a realization. I was like, no, I feel like I have something more in me, like to give than just being than just like being
you're ready to step out in front, bro.
I guess so. I think that's the real thing, because and then seeing people, I don't know. I feel like, and Ramirez seeing he's a real like he really I've worked with a lot of artists too, but he really knows how to be the guy, if that makes sense, you know.
Yeah, he stepped into that role, and
he really steps in the role, and not even he does it in a there is no ego with this guy coming in, because like this is like, yes, it was his first time playing with the band, but he came in to just like work and get it down, and I've seen him on and off stage, and it's really the same guy just putting in the work.
Yeah, so just for a little bit of background, Ben just came off tour, and he was touring playing trombone for Ramirez. Ramirez went on basically like a national tour and hit a bunch of cities and played some cool venues. And I actually had the pleasure of coming out and watching you guys at the House of Blues in San Diego. And thanks for the tickets, man. I really appreciate that. It was great. I was kind of seeing the same thing you are, watching Ramirez crush it, watching Jason Joshua crush it, and Soulzay, and being inspired by what they're doing. And you're right. You can really see that they're doing their own thing and being themselves. And that's definitely something that I try to bring to what we're doing over here too, man.
Yeah. And I really like what we have going on around here at the Frequency, just because it's like, I know we have like the ingredients, and like, the team, it's here, it's building, and we've all been around. It's almost like we've all been around in the industry in different ways, but I was like, and we're all on the same page. It seems like between us and Andrew and Kyle and Adam, we've all worked in the industry as different cogs in the machine. But I think it's really big that we're all kind of lining up in the same spot. We're like, I think it's us. I think coming from this area too, in the Inland Empire, IE, shout out IE.
Yeah.
No, but for reals, it's like there hasn't really been much of a ladder for us to really climb up around. We've had to make our own and then almost, set example, like it's not a set example, but we have to kind of do it on our own, and then go to other fields. And I feel like a lot of people do that. A lot of across the country, they go around their city, and then they go to another city, or whatever music hub, whatever it's Nashville, New Orleans, or New York, or L.A. Like a lot of us would go to L.A. and stuff too. But here,
instead of building it where they're at.
Yeah. And then for us, building it where we're at, we just noticed it's almost like we went out, we did the thing, and we came back. They were like, oh, yeah, we can really do this on our own.
Yeah,
so it's really cool for us to come together. And now I feel the energy like building up the past year or 2 years. Like, and it does take that many years to kind of build something for reals,
Totally.
And it's been growing and growing. Like each year, it's kind of crazy the amount of growth per year. So now, like, we've hit a certain time. It's been like 2 or 3 years coming in here, and I can't imagine. I'm really excited for the next like 3, 5. Even though that sounds like a lot, but the next 3, 5 years of the same growth that we're doing, the same potential where we're going towards.
Yeah, where are we gonna be? Right? Where could we get to? How far can we take this in that time? Is how I look at it too, man. So yeah, I'm right on board with you. And it is cool being around different musicians. So here at the Frequency Factory, we got basically 3 different studios. So there's a large practice room up front, which Top Shelf Brass Band's in, and basically you guys practice in there. You guys record songs in there. You guys produce music out of there and write a lot of music too. We got this room, which is basically mostly a vocal production room, but like last night we were using it to record sousaphone for the Brass Age. And then we got another live room with a control room where we track like drums, track big bands in there. So we got a lot of space here and a lot of different versatile rooms, and it is cool to see everyone's doing something different in each room a little bit. But now we're starting to kind of tie those things together, and hopefully we continue to do that, and maybe do like a Frequency Factory tour or something in the future would be dope, I think.
I mean, yeah, we were talking about it in a little bit. It's funny now that we're like kind of talking with each other, of like everyone's kind of competing, and everyone's on the same page, but we're all kind of like semi-competing, just like, okay,
yeah, dude,
who's gonna get that first hit? Who is it? You know what I mean? Who's gonna set it off to get us all going?
Yeah, for sure.
Man. But that's the, I think that's the plan. I feel like, and it's kind of crazy now that, I don't know, it's being here, and I guess I'm younger in the circle, but it's still 10, 15 years in here.
Yeah,
but everyone has had that same.
I mean, we've been here 20 plus years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The more experience in here.
But you've been going hard for a decade at least. So, I mean, and you put in probably more hours per week than most musicians I know, Doug.
Yeah.
And miles. How many miles have you driven in the last 2 years, Doug?
too many miles. But the hours is not enough. What I'm realizing, I just gotta working smarter and getting out there. It's like that's what I was trying to get to. Is like even being here that long and then seeing with you guys being here, having more experience and in this field, it feels like we're still starting and going after. The energy is live around here.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming in with like, oh, I got this project going. I got this project. It feels really cool to work in this circle because everyone's really pushing. You know, it helps me when I feel like I'm going down. I'm like, oh dang, that fool's doing this album over here. Oh great, Adam's jumping on this tour. Oh, that, and then everyone's bouncing off each other energy wise. They keep on growing.
I know what you're saying. And it's totally inspiring to me to see, you know, what you guys are doing. Like you mentioned, Adam, he came up and he's in Voodoo Glow Skulls now, and he's got his band Brass Age, and they're recording and playing a lot of shows and stuff. So that's dope to watch. And then you guys, like, Top Shelf is cool because you guys are like Voltron, dude. So, you know, I know you were telling me that basically you founded. Tell the story of how Top Shelf came to be.
Well, basically, it was a group of us out of RCC's marching band, and then some other homies that I already knew from high school. We basically just didn't want to play any bullshit music at school anymore. Well, mainly I just saw a lot of there's a lot of guys doing really cool stuff online on YouTube. I think that really opened my horizons, like the Soul Rebels from New Orleans. They're still one of my favorite bands. Young Blood brass band. They're like the first brass band that had a quote unquote hit under their own name that was able to make them, I guess, really travel on the road. And we saw that too, even on our first time getting out. We got invited, I think, what was it, maybe like 5-6 years in. We got to do some European festivals, and they're playing the hits of those two brass bands.
Oh, that's dope.
You know, so we're able to see and then we got to meet even a
So
couple more.
other brass bands were playing their hits.
Exactly. We saw we got to see that it was more real than what it was in our backyard.
That's cool.
This did reach worldwide. And especially even Lucky Chops, Lucky Chops is crazy because they're like the same age as us, kind of, but they're just fucking amazing. They went viral on multiple times. I think back in early 2015 or 16 or something, and then it's like they just did the whole thing. So on that Europe trip, we got to meet them, and we met like Thomas Gonch. He's a guy from a group called Monozel Brass. And the Sorbables again, and so it felt like this weird brass band pilgrimage, like us getting a glimpse of what we could do as this group, and then meeting and seeing brass bands that are doing it, like in the now. You know, they're all on these European tours. We got to hang with them and meet with them, totally on accident. That's probably the crazier thing about that trip is that everything on that trip was like. Like, we just so happened to go to Paris at the same time the Sorbables are there. We're like, oh, what the heck? I guess let's go see them. And then we go to Amsterdam. Randomly, we just planned it because we're basically backpacking. We had one festival in the beginning of the month and another festival way at the end of the month. So
you guys had time to.
So the bright idea was like, how was it going to go? We should have done is like do the trips in and out, but like we're all young and dumb.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest and the dumbest in the group. So I was like, we should just stay out. And it was a fiasco, but it was also amazing. But it was
that's cool.
We basically backpacked in the middle.
Yeah, nice.
but it was comedy though. But.
Yeah, life on the road is a trip, dude. So let's bring it back to being on this Ramirez tour. So you guys went nationwide, and I saw you guys at the House of Blues in San Diego. So is that kind of like the average size venue that you guys were playing mostly?
Yeah, it seemed like for all of his main markets, they're all around that theater, around 1,000 cap. And then he tried out some new markets. So they were interested. There's some new markets they've like never been. So it was basically maybe like 500, a little bit under, but it's still big size.
Yeah.
Venues.
And I feel like those acts together, like the crossover of the audience was dope, and it was a really cool crowd in San Diego. So yeah, shout out to all the Ramirez and Joshua and Soulzay fans. Like, man, you guys are cool peoples.
Yeah, and I know they planned it in that direction because like Soulzay really represented a part of Ramirez's style and of this album, and then Jason Joshua was like he does the oldies, which is the other style, and then the combined was basically Ramirez doing the with TPM too.
Yeah, it was funny, man, because I always see you on passing here at the studio. I'm on my way out. You're on your way in, and we were rapping for a minute, and I was like, yeah, what you been up to? And you're like, oh, I'm actually about to go on tour with this rapper, but not that many people heard of him, I think. And I was like, well, what's his name? And you're like, it's Ramirez. And I was like, and I got the 45. Don't do or die. And I was like, oh, man, Ramirez is the shit. And you're like, yeah, it's a national tour. Well, and I was like, let me get some tickets. And you're like, all right, cool. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm at the show watching you guys. And that was really, really fun, man.
No, yeah, it was really fun. I haven't really posted about it lately because I've just been tired as hell.
I bet.
The road was, it was strenuous because we were like trying to keep up. They had a Sprinter and a tour bus.
Yeah, so it's like two different agendas trying to on one tour.
Yeah, the tour bus can definitely travel farther because we were on the Sprinter.
Mm-hmm.
So we were definitely having some full days driving, playing, and driving. But yeah, it was really cool to see be a fly on the wall in this aspect to just like try to learn as much as I can, like logistic wise, like how would I want to do this?
How would you put a tour together?
Yeah, how would I put a tour together? What do I really need? What's important? What do I feel like is important to get to? And then even like I'm like seeing the songs and seeing what he's into. It's like, how do I even get to this point? You know, what gets you to that realm to bring people to have this venue? You know, there's 1,000 motherfuckers in there, and they're just like yelling every word.
At 20 spots around the country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. So as a musician, so all right. So like I was saying earlier, I didn't know how to introduce you because you do a lot within the music industry. So for instance, you got your own act, Top Shelf Brass Band. I know you're a studio musician as well. So like basically studio, someone's recording an album and they need a trombone player. So like they hit up an agent and they'll call you and like you'll go lay down trombone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so studio musician as well. Traveling, like touring musician. And then also, like, kind of like when big acts come to town and they need a live band, like your agent will hit you up and book you for live bands too. So, that's pretty much all right?
Yeah, I think it's crazy. I started playing trombone in like 4th grade, and who knew that I would like kind of like be the main tool or this like guiding light into
like the linchpin.
But
yeah.
basically it's like
you're kind of the linchpin to a few different things
to this instrument that let me and to guide me in this music industry. It's just like, okay, how do I really, because that's really like I don't think I've ever really wanted to be a trombonist, a trombone player. I love performing and trombone is probably the strongest instrument that I have.
Yeah,
but I still, even now, like I wouldn't say I was like I want to, because they're like there are a lot of trombone players and or musicians. Like I can definitely tell the difference between us. You know, I'm definitely more
facts
mainly maybe it's in the type of art that I want to create too, and that's probably the biggest thing. But and the instrument, like I love playing trombone, but I could also write and produce like all day, every day and not really touch trombone as much.
Yeah,
you know, the biggest thing that's really, I think that's why I've really stuck around with it too, because it's also because my highest skill set has been getting me the most money in the now. But I can't.
It keeps you working.
It keeps me working, and it keeps me able to see a certain skill set. Or connect with other musicians. That's the other thing too.
Yeah.
Even
your network,
my network of who I know, and then even other musicians of like connecting them on a because of how they see their craft.
Yeah. And you're picking up like style and techniques from other people?
Yeah, so I definitely
use
it. Yeah, I definitely use it as a funnel to really gather and learn about the music industry. That's the biggest thing. I remember seeing there was a documentary on dang, now it's gonna kill me. That I can't remember. Pause real quick. No, I'm just gonna look him up.
Oh no, go ahead.
We
man.
don't have a Jamie.
I'll talk you through it. Yeah, Jamie, pull it up from Joe
Pull it up
Rogan.
right here. No, but you've seen a lot of music, or even like Quincy Jones. Like he was a professional trumpet player, and he was a band leader and writer, and used that into when he was writing his first, producing his first I think movie scores or even like being a band. I remember I think he wrote for Sinatra, and then I think he did movies before he really did pop.
Yep.
And
it's kind of musical director for bands for a few different like pop artists back then. But a pop artist back then had a symphony.
yeah, well, it was a crazy level, and that's like goals to do.
Yeah, facts to be generating enough revenue to afford to pay 25 professional musicians a fair wage.
Yeah,
and take them with you places. And that's the expensive part is the lodging and then the travel. You know, having like when I saw you guys in San Diego, you guys downsized the number of vehicles, or you guys got rid of a trailer or something because you figured out you didn't really need it, and you can save money by not having it. You can move faster. So
yeah, and that's all weird logistics of and it's all money too.
But that's also the difference between surviving the tour and like having to pack up and go home because you ran out of money.
Yeah,
for some artists and some shows.
I feel like every artist that's in the theater realm, unless they're really killing on the theater realm and doing way higher, like above 1,000,
Mm-hmm.
they're in some sort of like balancing game. Not that you wouldn't be in a balancing game, but above 1,000, you know, your market is. Your lowest mark is 1,000, but you come into town and you're doing like the Greek theater, like 10,000,
Yeah.
or you're going Red Rocks, it's like your Hollywood Bowl, all these like 10,000 on up.
So
whatever.
you can pack a bigger show every third or fourth show.
Yeah, your
theater.
budget's probably you're probably traveling pretty comfortable, but not doing the balancing act of are we going to survive this tour? Do we have to cancel? You know what I mean?
So they sound like that type of act is barely bigger than the theater tour. So like the theater, they're not stressing about 1,000 people showing up.
No, yeah, and the money, as long as they have a good business manager, that the things are taken care of, and and that's probably the biggest thing. Even like the bigger arena acts, you know, stuff can still fall through the cracks. Like I think when when I was talking to Kyle, when Kyle was doing that K-pop run, I forgot the artist's name, but he was doing they were doing all arenas, but some of the arenas were like half filled. They didn't have to, and they had a third party business handling payroll from the UK, and they had like sketchy things going on. But it's an arena act. You wouldn't think that would happen at that level, but it's but they're all businesses, so
people skimp in weird spots too, and there's like a lot of places where you can skimp on a tour.
Yeah, like, there's talking about their like, and it happened with us too. I'm not gonna lie, but that's not like doing like weird per diem stuff, or small trap or in hotels. Hotels should seem like they're given, but you think about like X amount of people. Maybe if we have them double up, okay, half a mountain's room, that's $1,000 really easy. And then they're like 1,000 per day, you know, because you're doing a hotel per day.
Yeah.
So you're saving X amount, $30,000.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. If you're thinking each day, like really saving it, but like that's why you really got to get those people in the seats and really get those people buying merch. Because at a certain point, that cost is like normal, and like you think Beyonce is worrying about $30,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At a certain point, it does go over, but it depends like how big is your staff. You know, like we are talking about arenas and stuff like.
So speaking of arenas and even bigger, like you recently played with Shakira, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Like talk about when we shout out to Rigo.
Yeah, shout out Rico.
Shout out Rigo and Roger. Roger
Rico,
made it happen. Yeah. What's it called?
Those were incredible photos from that evening.
That was a crazy event. But you can even see in her, like she has a staff of like 200. You know, you have the band and the dancers, but then there's like 100. People building the stage, and then there's like all a fleet of semi trucks. Like 20 truck drivers coming in and out.
Production staff, keeping everything moving.
Exactly. And then the managers, with all the little camps between them, have their little offices that they set up for the day and stuff. And then they maybe have a catering for whoever. It's crazy. 'Cause like they're traveling, each of those stadiums are traveling with like 100, 200 people.
So that's a stadium. And what venue did you play with them at?
That was a Snapdragon in San Diego. That was really cool. That probably, honestly, that was the biggest crowd I've ever played in front of.
It was turned up too.
Yeah, they were going crazy. It was actually it was crazy to think about it too, because like the parts we were playing were easy, and so we're playing over tracks, which
Okay.
we made it super like less pressure. We're like, oh shit, okay,
Nice.
I could fuck up. It wouldn't matter. Not that it wouldn't matter. Roger would be like,
or not that you did.
Roger would be looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, if you messed up. But,
I was definitely jamming and stuff.
I mean,
but,
you don't get that call unless they know you're not gonna fuck up.
No, yeah. But the thing that I was thinking about is like there's a certain part when it was coming up, or even just being on the type of energy. I was like, oh shoot, just like trying to calm down the energy of
yourself.
Exactly. Just
So your fingers will move.
Exactly. And I've been on tons of stages, but here it's just like, oh, the adrenaline is like a different type of drug. You're like, oh shit. There's literally a stadium, people just like going crazy, and it's not even for me. They're going for like Shakira stuff, and we're just on the side, but the energy's so lit.
Dog, as a drummer and being like responsible for keeping the tempo, in those exciting types of shows, like taking that deep breath and calming down to keep the fucking tempo right and not have everybody hate you, it's so like key for me, man.
Yeah, and those guys.
Not that I played a stadium before, but I played some big shows. 5,000 people there and. Just the pump from the crowd and having to keep the tempo. And shout out Mondo, the DJ. We used to always look at each other because one of my old acts, we had a DJ in it. We'd do a lot of stuff where we'd go from live drums to like vinyl records. Mm-hmm. So he'd look at me. He'd be like, catch my attention. He'd be like, bring it down a little bit. Bring them BPMs down a little bit. And then let me know when I'm in the range. And so we'd do that. But yeah, just dealing with the adrenaline on a show
That's
like
something that that wasn't aware of. And then I took that even to the one on that Ramirez tour, is that I had to think about that because like playing and so like especially if I had a solo on there
every night, a big solo.
Yeah, I had to think about not going too into it because it'd be like I would mess up inherently because I'd be too
going for it,
and then I just wouldn't be as finesse until like later on I would try to really control and have a cleaner one or like really nail it instead of just like yelling out in the sky.
Well, shit, man. When I saw you in San Diego, what was that, the fourth show you guys did, I think?
So that was like 4 or 5.
Bro, your solo shut it down, dude. I got the video. I'll post a link to it. But dude, they went crazy when you played your solo. Like you for real shut the place down and had like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, no, that was definitely that's all you get, But that's like I think that's the idea, especially if you're side man. Is like
Ramirez was pumped. He was hyping you up.
Exactly,
he was
Ramirez
jumping up
the
and down.
If the artist is the quarterback going by, and then they're like, oh, I'll pass it to this guy and make a touchdown, or now he passes to the guitar player, and they'll make it whatever I feel like that what makes a great band.
It's cool because like you told me that was the first time Ramirez traveled with a live band, and shout out to Ramirez for doing that because as like a rapper, it's kind of like you made it when you have enough of a draw. And you're doing big enough shows where you can afford to pay a live band versus just, having a DJ spinning your cuts and scratching and bringing stuff in and out. Like, you could put on a great show with a DJ, but it's just something different about having the live drums, having some horns, a key player, guitar player, like a bass player.
I think the production value, and they're thinking about it too. You see every major artist that's like going on like some, what's it called? Like Tyler the Creator.
Yeah, I just saw Exhibit with the live band doing the Rhyme Fest.
Exactly.
The homies were posting some.
You can kind of get more energy, and the music kind of breathes more, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But like you see like Tyler the Creator on like some music video awards, he like has a live band going on. There's like 40 dancers going just to get the image across more, right?
And still samples and still keys and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool to watch. Yeah, man. So in addition to being like a touring musician, playing shows, you also do quite a fair amount of producing. You guys have produced some songs with See For Yourself, Okie Doke. Shout out to those fellas. And you got some rappers that I always see coming through here all the time too.
There's been a new camp that we've been kind of building up, and
some youngsters with you.
Yeah, no, they're really cool. They're really cool because half of them are pretty new, and I've known one of them, LZ. Shout out to LZ. I've known him since I don't know. We did a marching band together.
Oh, cool.
And then it came up, and we've always done music. Like I've always seen him out there, and then we kind of linked up again here in Riverside, and started to just go for it. So now they've been coming in by like I don't know, like every week. I think just putting in the time, just writing and writing.
Nice.
And I think that's they've really inspired me to really even to like go for it. I'm like, okay, I gotta just do the real thing. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
like I
facts.
feel like producing has always been, it's always been probably the thing I haven't done the most. It's probably the least, but it's something that I'm just excited about as playing or anything. Like,
Yeah.
like that's probably one of my main goals right now is to really like switch it up to get producing and songwriting in the forefront.
So if and to me, a perfect blend is preferable. But what do you prefer, being in the studio or being out playing live? Like what do you get the most excited about?
It's kind of hard because they're both different, right? It's like
And they're both so important and vital,
they're,
right?
They're both so important, and I think performing is more of that's something because it's like in the now.
You get to get out there and show your ass. And
Oh
oh yeah, watch this.
yeah, you get to throw down in the
Solo.
now and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
That instant gratification.
exactly where the song kind of lives. If you make a great song and it's like a like a photo, whatever, it's really frozen in time. Whatever that vibe is,
Yeah.
you can take that vibe and turn it on again, and it'd be exactly the same. Someone can, like it really lives past you in a sense. Well, I mean, 100% because we're listening. Like we always take songs that we're inspired by. We look by, we're like, oh, this motherfucker's dead. But it's a
Yeah.
great song. You're looking at it, but it's like,
It's crazy we get to still listen to these dead people.
yeah, in a
Like
sense.
200 years ago, no one would have ever believed that.
Yeah, I know, right? So that's the thing, recording, and I like recording live stuff, and I love listening to or watching live concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
And the energy still lives through on in that video or in that recording,
Mm-hmm.
But it's both different things. Like when I have like a really good recording or a song that I'm like just jamming on or listening to all the time, I'm always like, dang, this is dope. I just gotta release this or something. And that's like probably the biggest thing I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, I was
is getting down is just releasing, right? I could not hold it
yeah,
back.
facts, dude. Staying true to yourself. Some artists stay true to themselves to death, and some artists staying true to themselves is what pays the bills. And it's like kind of a balancing act, and knowing when and how to do that. And it kind of seems like the acts that you were touring with, they got their own lane and they figured it out, and it takes time to get there.
Yeah, I think that's the thing I was really really impressed by, that they they just did the thing. They didn't there was no side goal for their artistry. They just really found what they like or made music that they fuck with and put it down and set it out for the world to see, and then the world responded, in that way to really show up. So I think that was really cool to see that I think I needed my eyes open to that. I didn't have to, like, maybe I was, maybe it's like I was really losing that battle in the like outside voices, like every musician hears, anyone that's ever done music in any way is, there's always somebody an outside saying that of like how difficult it is, you can't do it, and it's impossible to make money, and whatever, how many people do it, and yeah, they're all right on those things, but that's on the other side, like what made me really open my eyes, and like going on this tour and seeing these people, like, oh, and then what do you say to these three motherfuckers? What do these three?
Facts.
You say all these things, and then you like, you keep on telling them that, or do you like, oh, well, you guys did it, so I guess I'm wrong. Nah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I think,
But their consistency is also a big part of what got them there.
oh,
and that hard work.
exactly, yeah.
And the good branding.
I mean, they really did the thing. They really figured it out,
Yeah. And as hard
and
as
it's dope. It's dope. That's the thing, is that it's like, that's the thing, is that it's tight.
Yeah, the product is.
Yeah. I think
That's step number one. Be a dope musician. Like, practice. Know your lines.
yeah.
Don't mess up.
Yeah, I think
Have confidence
Yeah.
because you practice.
And then, like, and that's the thing that's hard, is that, like, I've been doing everything but, I think, releasing stuff.
Yeah.
Being honest with.
But you've been
with
on the
art.
road a lot. And you've been. So in addition to that, like touring and all that stuff, you guys are also Top Shelf Brass Band is like the official band of the Dodgers, or how's that?
Kind of, we're trying to inception that to
Okay.
every time we show up.
Got it.
We were
Speaking
there,
it
in
into
existence. Like, we'll be there this October again when we make the championships again.
man, yeah. Watch when they win again.
Exactly. We'll be there again.
Those videos of you guys performing before like World Series games,
Yeah,
performing in the middle of World Series games and watching all that
Yeah,
transpire last year in
that
LA.
was there was nothing. I didn't even like baseball that much, and now I'm a fucking diehard.
Right.
I'm just like doing all the chants. I'm like, oh shit,
That's what's up.
just doing all the stuff, you know. But that was I'm almost putting that in existence.
And they put top shelf brass band up on the jumbotron.
I think that really changed it for us too. And when we did that like we've always been a side group, and we've never had our name on there. But when we did the Dodgers thing, they really let us be us. So that was really cool. And I was like, okay, tight. This is exactly what we wanted to do in this realm. You know, it's still technically a corporate gig, but we were able to do it as ourselves.
Top shelf brass band.
No,
yeah.
exactly. And
That's
that
killer.
was a big difference because we played for so many groups. For so long as
Well,
other
the first time I met
things.
you guys was technically a corporate gig. So Luke, the guy who owns Frequency Factory, he was working downtown at a company called Minded Mills, his family business, and they had a really cool property owned by the Mission Inn, and it's right around the corner from the Mission Inn. And it's a two-story venue. They have like a lobby when you walk in, and they have this big open ceiling area, and they were doing like a grand opening, and it was art. It's an art gallery, or it was an art gallery, and so there's lots of cool visuals in there, and all the furniture was dope, and so the party's cracking. You know, they got people walking around with trays and drinks on them and stuff, and then all of a sudden it gets quiet, and this brass band mobs in playing Kanye West. What song did you guys play? Do you remember?
it had to be like All the Lights.
Yeah.
And then
These guys come in bumping All of the Lights. This big old brass band, like 11 of you guys, probably the whole crew came in. And just crush it. And the people, you guys got the room going. Like the party went to 3 levels above where it was instantly.
Yeah, you can't beat just like a giant, like a mini marching band. And I feel like there's a lot of things that we've done is just like, kind of be a flash mob, but not only visually, but with
Bro,
sound.
you've been on
you know?
Kai Cenat, right?
Yeah, and that was with shout out to Blow Brass, India. She's a badass. She kind of like flipped of how I even looked at running a band or every time I always see a group, I'm gonna always take notes and stuff.
Is India the manager, or she's one of the players?
Yeah, she plays
in
two.
Blow Brass
She's
too?
one of her and Michael made the group, and they all met at USC around like 2020, I
Nice.
think, or that's when the group kind of started. But I always take things from different groups that I play with. But her killing it so much, but with a brass band specifically, since it was like the parallels where there was too much, and the fact that she would kill it on the business side and like really get all these gigs. But yeah, going back to Kai Cenat, she really nailed that. And then whatever they've done, they've called her multiple times, and she keeps on nailing. And then they did like the last one was like the marching band for their 24-hour stream, and she got like 50 people or something, 60 people.
Bro, I bet you're
To
like
contract that, like it's insane.
You know, your phone like does the memory reels, and like you get a photo of like last year, this time, or it'll put together like 10 of your videos and kind of show it to you. Like, I bet yours is crazy. Yours would be like Shakira, Kai Cenat, and being in the studio with like Exhibit, being on tour with Ramirez, other studio
it is
work,
random stuff because
the Dodgers.
I think the corporate stuff. There's no glory, and no one knows you do anything. Like I posted something I did like 3-4 years ago. With the brass band, it was something when he got shut down by like we were just street performing.
Oh yeah,
the cops
in Riverside.
Yeah, and we did that
And had it popping on the street after the club.
Yeah. That was like almost 10 years. And then I have people that like the thing that just happened, like mainly just like social media. It's mainly realizing like
Content doesn't die.
Content-
Good content
good
lives
content
forever.
doesn't die. Not everyone sees everything, and especially with corporate gigs. There's no glory in corporate gigs, so you can do a ton of stuff. Like I did a thing on the set literally like Monday. We're playing it for I don't even know what the show was. A board. I gotta look up the show, but it was like we were playing the opening of this TV crew was going, or this show's moving TV sets.
Okay.
So we go to this set in LA, and then we go get our marching band uniforms, and we play. We've done a couple. It's a type of corporate gig of just like, show up on our TV set or movie set and surprise the cast and the crew. So basically, we did one of those, and but barely like all this. It's like the same crew. I'm like seeing that now. It's through Lindsay with the LA marching band, and she's like the premier marching band. Like she runs like anytime you see something online in LA, it's probably Lindsay.
And you play at the French Quarter at Disneyland too, right?
Yeah. That was with Charles, the Louisiana Cultural Foundation.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. But like I said, with all these corporate gigs and stuff, there's like no glory into it. but there's nothing to save your place. Or your
But
name,
you're keeping your chops
but
up.
you keep your chops
It's
up.
paying the bills.
Exactly, paying the
You're,
bills.
you're hanging out with other professional musicians who might book you for another gig.
I think that's the thing is that like it get tons of experience. I feel like the experience and the outlook of the industry in different ways. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I'm able to see through all these things. And now I feel like I woke up in a dream that I didn't fully like made our purpose. I like
So
you know
so
what I
like
mean? It's
now that you have all this stuff going, you have all these avenues that you can tap into whenever you want. So is it kind of like time to just mastermind all the next steps, essentially?
yeah, I think
Instead of just taking what comes your way, like build the plan and
I think it's real. I think I've been really just trying to survive and
like personally, not just Top Shelf Brass Band as a brand and as a band and a group.
no, just
and all that.
personally, yeah. Just personally, financially, and now that that's gotten kind of like in control, or whatever that means, enough money. But now I'm really able to see just like, okay, if I would have been doing something specific that I wanted as an artist or songwriter. I feel like I would have. Now I would have been in a better place 10 years ago, but it's like now I'm able to do these. I'm able to songwrite, produce whatever in a higher form because when there's
all those gigs you took.
Exactly. So I don't take it for granted.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to Manny and Armando with Holyfield. Like they were they're the ones that run the
The whole merch booth, all the
like the merch and the
point of sale and stuff.
Yeah. But mainly the brand for the clothing, it's all run through their company Holyfield and stuff, and the vibe and aesthetic it's here because when Ramirez is playing around the area, everyone's wearing the merch.
Yeah.
You see all the merch. You're like, oh, like we would be hanging around. No, obviously we're the band, so we're just walking around. We're able to walk around. Like if you're like Ramirez or Rocky, there are like some of the people in their crew. They're like they'll stop them. Like, oh shit.
Nice.
But we're able to just walk around. We're able to we'll be right in the front, like
Yeah.
chilling, getting a beer across the street or something. And then you'll see the line going happen. You're like, right in front. You're like, oh shoot,
They're rocking the gear.
they're rocking all the gear. Yeah, and that's something I really took for granted. I'm just like, we'll just be a great live band, like just some old school shit. You know what I mean? Which is true, and that got us in a certain realm. But like, I think you have to besides give them more avenues of how to be a
Merch pays the bills, bro.
and the money wise. The merch was
And
like,
merch is hard to pull off. It's a simple business, but it's not an easy business to do.
no, definitely
Lugging around all those boxes of sweatshirts and stuff, and keeping them clean and not messing them up, and having someone to run the booth and counting the money and doing the credit card machine and making sure it's all working. Like, there's so much that goes into it. In addition to doing your, coming up with your samples, figuring out your colorways, what type of shirts are you using, like.
Yeah, and they got it down to a science where I'm like, all they know their stuff looks dope.
That's tight.
Everyone's
quality's
showing
up.
up. Yeah, everyone's showing up early to buy.
Yeah. They're getting in
All
a
the
line
newest-
to buy merch.
Exactly, and they're like, that whole I used to think it's not that it's BS, but that whole like hour before the first, the doors open here and the person just
That's
doesn't-
merch time, right?
basically, right? That's time for the venue to get filled up, and for anyone to get their merch and still get a good spot.
And fans know that there's like limited items at those events. Only the first 20 people get that dope hoodie. Like everyone else, good luck, or you might not ever get that specific one.
No, for sure. I had someone ask me if they can, because they sold the first run that we did of the smaller tour. They sold out really quick, and then the guy was like, "Hey, can you like buy me one and send it?" And he said it like in a joking way, but we knew he was serious, and I was like, "Ha, no, we can't.
Yeah.
I can't even get one, because they're selling out so quick,
Yeah, that's great. That's dope.
But that's something that really flipped that now I'm thinking about with these new projects that I'm really excited about I gotta think about the brand as a whole.
Yeah, and one thing for all you fans out there, when you're going to a show and you see like someone's got a hoodie for $70 at the venue at the live event, just you guys got to know that when you sell merch at a real venue at like a House of Blues or something, House of Blues makes a cut of that merch. Like you got to legit pay to sell merch.
Unless you're lucky enough. I didn't talk to Manny about this. I talked to one of the homies that was working merch with them. Is that like every venue seems to have like their own deal. You got to finagle whatever that deal is. But most of the time
They have like standard terms that all artists get.
Yeah,
boilerplate.
Yeah. Like they want to cut maybe they don't have a cut of the merch, but they
And
have
you-
a cut of the tickets,
yeah.
or maybe it's the opposite.
Or maybe the artist is getting a cut of the bar or something like that.
Whatever it is, right? So, but the tickets and the merch kind of help each other to even it out. Whatever it is, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I noticed it's like the merch is like, it's almost an easy sell because, like whatever you're like, think about your favorite artist. You see them and you want to, you're like not even thinking about contributing, but think about like what you like. Oh, I want to personally some sort of like memento token of seeing them live tonight, or
Facts.
like seeing,
Yeah.
it just it does like
It's cool when
have
you
both
see people
sides.
wearing their tour shirt, and they're like, "Yeah, I saw Ozzy in '88 and got the
it
T-shirt."
is. No, that is dope, and the value of that does the bigger like the grow over time. The bigger the artist gets, the longer the amount of time in between.
And someday those tour posters and tour shirts are worth thousands on eBay and stuff.
No, for real, that's like the that's something that really changed, completely changed my mind of like, not even changed my mind, but like really knowing that merch is kind of huge. Like even like
It's more than just a way to make money. Like people are representing your brand out in the world when they're buying your merch too.
Yeah, there's something about the brand, and that's the other thing that's crazy. There's like there are two cities that we were at the same time. We're there at the same time as Beyonce was there.
Okay.
And I think it was like Chicago, and I want to say, was it Chicago and Atlanta?
So everybody was walking around in chaps.
Chaps, cowboy
Cowboy
hat.
Carter.
The thing is crazy is that I found out that they were in town by people there before I even looked it up online. Or
In a
saw
hotel or something. Or...
No. Getting off the plane, I just see everyone with cowboy hats, and I was like, "Oh, what the heck is this?" And then you see someone with a T-shirt.
Yeah, that's a black cowboy convention out here.
You see a black cowboy. You're just like, what the? This is a very crazy crossover. But then you go over, and then like you think she does the branding right to where like it's enough to everyone is on board. Like you said, it's like getting off the plane, you're like, oh dang, I guess Beyonce's playing. You go into downtown,
Yeah.
everyone's wearing the shirts.
But her concert's like the Super Bowls in town.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it felt like because it's the entire.
I mean, wasn't her tour just the highest grossing tour ever?
Probably.
Again?
Yeah.
It's like Taylor Swift, Beyonce. Like they're always kind of right
There's
there.
not that many people that are in that stadium realm that
Yeah.
are pushing that envelope to how big can we go with this music thing. Basically, there's like a bunch of K-pop artists kind of that are doing arenas and stuff like that, but just in general artists.
But there's like 12 of them getting a cut, and those managers are getting most of it. And when it's Beyonce and Taylor Swift, man, they are making billions on a tour.
Yeah, there's really just them, maybe Bruno Mars too.
Yeah. Like, oh, we're just going to do SoFi for 2 or 3 nights in a row. Like, what?
And yeah, SoFi, and I think when I looked it up, SoFi expands up to a little under 100,000.
Yeah, it's insane. And if you imagine, like, the average ticket price is 500. Let's say average.
Dude, I tried to go because the homie was playing. He plays trombone, Chris Johnson. Shout out to Chris Johnson. Chris plays trombone in, maybe I don't even know how many tours, but it's been a minute. But he was playing on the last tour. I was trying to go see because we had the off.
He's on Cowboy Carter tour? Or he was?
Yeah.
Nice.
So then, crazy, we ran into him in Chicago. We were trying to, me and Rigo were.
Oh, that's cool.
We were walking in downtown. Rigo is he'll go on a mission on tour. If you want good food, Rigo's your guy. You want directions?
Sweet.
Maybe not. Good food. but it so happened because of directions, we were walking all over the place. We just run into Chris out of nowhere. Chris is coming out of the hotel.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was like, what the heck? What are y'all doing here?
It really is a small world.
No, it is. The scene is kind of small and stuff like that. But it was time running into him, and then they're like kind of chopping it up. And then I was trying to see them in Atlanta, the second city, but the tickets were so expensive.
Yeah.
Well,
what were they going for?
Well, the farthest were
Cheapest
like
you could get.
150.
Okay.
100,
That's not as bad as I thought.
No, but that's like the farthest of the shittiest
yeah.
seats.
Yeah,
and that was like
your back's against the wall.
Kind of.
That was arena?
You're in the top. Yeah.
Okay.
Atlanta Dome, right, or something like that. You're basically the.
Oh, that is where the
top.
Falcons played.
Yeah,
the
for
stadium.
sure,
Yeah, that was stadium only tour, right?
Yeah. I think like the bottom is
I'm
like.
not saying doing a little arena is 14,000 people. Get out of here.
It'd be so expensive, I think, because like when I looked at the bottom, the dude with the club card or whatever,
That's intimate.
they were like $1,000, $2,000. And I was like, I could see people throwing money at it just to be there and stuff. If I really liked Beyonce, Well, it depends. I love Beyonce,
Yeah.
but her as her whole like catalog.
I mean, you've kind of played a lot of Beyonce licks, man. You guys got some Beyonce songs, and you
Yeah,
play
only
her on the trombone from time to time.
No, kind of, yeah. Only because she is one of the greats of performers, songwriters, in like I said, like there's only like
What songs does Top Shelf or some of your other brass bands play from Beyonce?
I think anyone that plays a brass instrument has played "Crazy in Love."
Yeah.
If you are a gigging musician that plays the trumpet, trombone, whatever the fuck, you have played "Crazy in Love" for sure. I play "Love on Top" with blow brass, and
Okay.
we play "Drunken Love." But that's the thing. Beyonce is like she's definitely earned her realm of like. People talk about goated musicians and stuff like that.
I mean, she's been pro since 14
but that's what I mean.
and
Like,
nonstop crushing it since then.
I think that's what it almost takes. Because you think about all the other ones, Bruno Mars, same thing.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, she started when she was like doing music festivals, like local community festivals when she's like middle school playing song and doing the country scene. Michael Jackson.
Yep.
It's not by chance that all these like kids kind of forced in it, that stayed in it. Became like by the time they're like, they talk about 10,000 hours being like perfect at it. They hit that then again
and they were
again,
18
and again. You know what I mean?
Facts.
All of them have like more than 3 albums that really kill, and I think that's the really marker.
No doubt.
You can have one great album, you're seeing, like Chaperone, you're or Anderson .Paak, you're around.
Yeah.
2 albums, people are like they really respect it. Like, dang, you really hit 2 albums that have multiple hits, but if you really hit at least 3 or 4, you're in this other like, because the albums that they take a while, then they're promoting it for a while, so that's crossing through decades, right?
It's cool seeing like how Tyler the Creator, for instance, works, and for the most part he's got kind of a routine where he's dropping an album every 2 years. He's promoting that album for a full year after it comes out. Like, he's got his singles planned out, and then after that year of promoting what he just finished, it's like going into recording mode again. So shifting gears, tucking it in, going to some mansion in Montana or whatever, and getting the next album done. And I'm sure he's like all along the way coming up with ideas and coming up with little riffs and having the keyboard handy. But like that kind of shifting gears from being supporting your last album, touring to support your music, and then for a full year, and then shifting gears being in the studio for a year, it seems like it's a pretty cool way to live.
Yeah, he's been doing this for, being in this limelight for quite a while.
Yeah,
now.
he's an old guy now too, kind of. I used to look at him as like the kid. I'm like, dude, he's in his like mid-30s and got a decade under his belt.
That's what
crushing
I mean. It's been a decade, and like if he hits another album,
since they were on Jimmy Fallon, jumping on Jimmy Fallon's back, like that was so long ago.
That's what I mean. If they hit something that hits just as hard as that, people would be like, "Oh, Tyler the Creator would hit this other echelon with other people would see him in a different light." It's like Kendrick. Kendrick really coming back again and again, but hitting not even just as hard. It feels like harder than the last album.
Yeah.
Which puts you. I think that's what really it takes to be called this like quote unquote GOAT.
Yeah.
And Beyonce and Taylor Swift, all those people that have really like they've done the. Like it's undeniable.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You can't. So someone can say like, "Oh, Beyonce's not as good," or Michael, whatever. Okay, that's your opinion in a sense.
Yeah.
But in reality, you look at the sale, you look at the listens, you hear the music.
Yeah. When you see LeBron James dunking on everybody, it's like it's undeniable. Like
it's undeniable too, especially and it's like people are. It's hard to see because they'll compare careers, and everyone's career is
but
different.
it's art. And it's art, so
art,
it's subjective as well.
Yeah, but you're right. LeBron is still racking like 30 points in his 40s. Still racked. I mean, that's insane.
Nonstop since he was 18. Like,
exactly.
Really,
So I think
really 14.
Yeah. So I think that's a big part of it is like being undeniable.
Well, that's a consistency and having a good team too, man. But hey, we're gonna wrap it up in a few minutes. But I want to ask you before you go, like a couple things. So, who are your influences? And then being in a brass band, how important is like jazz and like the whole New Orleans area and all that to what you do?
I think biggest influences. If I had like a Mount Rushmore, it'd probably be the Soul Rebels are on it. That brass band, and they're probably the archetype the prototype of Top Shelf, and then Whitney Houston, just power and strength and voice.
Nice.
You know, someone that can just like. That's why when someone sees me playing trombone, I really think I'm Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
When someone,
Sick, bro.
yeah, and then
I can see that. I can see that how you play.
And then Amy Winehouse, mainly about the vibe of like the songwriting and stuff like that.
Yeah, she was pocket.
Yeah, something
All
pocket,
pocket.
super cool. Something about the lyrics and the song was so dope.
Yeah.
And then you see the live performances there. She's a real like jazz singer, and like she's really improvising her own songs.
And just real, like
And
in the
real,
moment.
exactly.
Always in the moment.
So I think that really tied with that.
Yeah, rest in peace.
And it's crazy, even like for the fact I learning this way later that Gabe Roth being here from Riverside had a big influence in there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like, man, did I fuck with that because I'm from Riverside?
No
It totally
doubt.
fucked with my mind finding that out after.
There's a lot of little connections like that to the town too,
Exactly,
which is a trip.
And then my last one would be Mariah Carey, right? Just the songwriting,
Yeah.
just the type of vibe. It's someone that can, and I think it's ability too. Is that like some of the songs that like,
Her hip hop crossover
yeah, I think that's the
was like when Mariah Carey went hip hop, dude.
as a hip hop artist,
Yeah,
yeah.
because she was just pop. She debuted as just pop.
I think it's because like the producers were like crossing over hip hop samples.
Well, I
and
think
stuff.
also she just got out of a contract and she got out of a marriage. I mean, who was she married to?
don't know.
Somebody from
It's,
Sony, I think.
the person that owns Sony.
Yeah, man.
I forgot the.
Yeah, I don't remember, but it was just a moment. Like she was done being pop, and don't get me wrong, Mariah Carey is and will always be pop. But like when she went over to the hip hop side of things and started doing collabs with rap music, like that shift in her style and man, her outfits too, like everything, like yeah, that was cool to see. All right, so it's pretty much all female vocalists on your Mount Rushmore,
I
except
think that's
for
the main thing is that like and then I love like songwriting, producing wise and stuff like that. But that's the main thing is that like at least for artists, some of it's more melodic, some of it's more the type of performance. But
yeah,
I think all combined, that's always been. And then it kind of runs with like how Top Shelf's been running. It's like with this brass band, but all of our main features have been female vocalists.
yeah, true.
And then we'll have like different people come in, jamming with us and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Who are some noteworthy guests that you guys have worked with?
Aphrodite, we've met her on Kill Tony, and then she's always been great.
Yeah, how many times did you guys play Kill Tony?
We did it like 6 or
That's
something.
what-
I haven't even put. I need to put it into like
right? What venue? You need a new EPK, bro.
Yeah, I know for real. I need to put that together because that show has grown like maybe 3-4 times. Then could we be on it? Maybe like a couple 100,000.
And they should let you guys warm the crowd up before the next Staples Center one or something.
Oh no, for sure. I gotta pull that card.
Yeah, Tony, where you at, Tony?
Motherfucker, get us in there. HEB Center.
Right.
But like the
Yeah.
for reals and Jenna Wad. Jen is super dope. She's like this underground like soul punk singer.
I like watching the videos of her live because like
She gives the energy. Like that's the thing. We've always like Top Shelf has a lot of energy, but there's not many people like Aphrodite can or
Yeah.
Jen.
take
Jenna
it up a
Wad.
notch.
She can take that wave and then serve on exactly take it up a notch, or to like feel the energy and throw it even more.
Yeah.
Or even like
Who's that guitar player you guys were playing with? That
Zarius-
guy ripped too.
Zarius Gittins, Zarius G. That fool's crazy. Same thing. Guitar, probably one of the craziest guitar soloists I've ever played, just ever. Something about like he just completely emotes, and then just
Yeah.
like something about like and the way he sings on the guitar is something I'm really connected because that's something that I really take on for my own playing that I saw that like that this fool does, you know. But like, yeah, crazy guitar. He's out of Florida. I think he's mainly in the Atlanta scene, but when he was over here, we used to jam a lot together. I saw him on the tour. We got to connect a little bit. That was cool.
That's cool.
I don't think this fool's here.
Yeah. And then real quick, so like when I think about brass bands, I think about New Orleans. You know, my family
Yeah.
is from New Orleans. I got a lot of jazz musicians in my family, and that's partially how I came up with the name of my record label, Cali Function Records. One of my cousins, Placide Adams, whose mom was Dolly Adams, and was the musical director for the Preservation Hall for
really?
forever, for a long time. And she was the only female, the first and the only. She was allowed to do it because her husband was in the band, but she played piano. But her son, Placide Adams, did a EP, and it was called New Orleans Function.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that I kind of, and it was coincidence because I had this act and I was thinking of calling it Cali Function. It was me and BZ Beats, and we were like jamming. And I was like, when we go on tour, everywhere we go, it'll be a Cali Function. Like we'll bring that Cali style wherever we go. And then I found that New Orleans Function, and I was like, all right, this is kind of meant to be. And BZ moved to San Diego, and then I just had this name idea. So I'm like, Cali Function Records it is, man. But
I didn't know that. That was great. And Preservation Hall, that's like a New Orleans staple, yeah.
Yeah, so their house is on the jazz tour. Like when
That's
you
crazy.
go around in that little van, and they're showing all the grades where they live, and the shotgun houses, and Algiers, like, my cousin Dolly Adams, and this is, or it's like my aunt or something, but
Yeah.
so
No, but that's so tight.
I love like the New Orleans style of music and stuff, and so when I think brass bands, I think New Orleans. So is there like some of that influence on you?
Oh, for sure. I think that's like that's like we kind of take that towards and try to continue it. And we don't like to try to
Copy it.
Copy in a sense. We almost, because we know that we won't inherently be it no matter what we do unless we were all moved there, and then we would.
It's kind of the foundation.
It's kind of the foundation that we grow out of it from our experience here in California.
Yeah.
We can only do so much. We see in LA. We see what you see in LA and what we see online, and we do the best that we can to do it. And honestly, we work with a lot of people like like Charles from the Louisiana Cultural Foundation here in California, to do our studying of New Orleans music. And so when we play with him, he keeps us in check. And he gives us the songs and makes sure that we really follow under his lead, because
cool.
he's leading it through.
He's keeping it true to the
Exactly. Well, he's always coming back and forth from New Orleans, stuff like that, and he's still really tied with Louisiana. So I think that's what keeps us a part of the brass band scene, and keeps us honest with that. But we know as Top Shelf as a whole that like we don't want to be like, I don't know, like copying, being like culture appropriating this type of thing. That's why we try to keep it honest with ourselves. Like we started from there, and that's why we learned it. But we really try to be honest of what we are playing, promoting. That is something more of us from this area.
Cool, man.
You know.
Dude, there's so much I could talk to you about. There's other things I want to ask you. We're a little pressed for time, so maybe in a couple months we'll check back with you and
that'll be tight.
Have to chit chat a little bit more.
Definitely, I think there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool. I'm glad that you're starting this up and we're able to see where this goes. So
I'm gonna get Andrew in here. We're gonna do tech talk and talk about compressors and waves, plugins and stuff.
That's gonna be tight. Hell yeah.
Nice, cool, man. Yeah, I appreciate you coming through.
No, thanks, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm Fly Live Phil. Thanks for joining Studio Talk, and this is. Oh, you gotta do the rapper thing. Ben Ahsue.
I thought you were gonna do like this is Kelly. All right.
Yeah.
Ben Ahsue, there you go. Edit that together. Edit that.
Yeah, Big Ben. We ain't editing nothing. We had technical difficulties on this episode, but yeah, it's been a crazy day today. But
chill,
yeah, thank you all for joining. All right, man.